Hey friends, I'm Shanil Shan. Welcome to the channel and another video. This time around, I'm going to be reacting to The Terminator by James Cameron. I'm familiar with most of his work, including The Abyss, Titanic, True Lies, and of course, Avatar. But I don't remember watching Alien or Aliens or whichever one he made. That's definitely on my list of movies to watch. So basically, it's funny. I've watched all the Terminator films starting from Judgment Day, which is part two, multiple times, probably 15 to 20 times over the years over growing up. But I've actually never gone around to watch the first one. I'm familiar with most of the characters and the relationships in the franchise, like John Connor, Sarah Connor, or Kyle Reese, and of course the T-800. So there's the Terminator. There's Terminator 2 Judgment Day. There's Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines, which wasn't a very good movie. And there was Terminator 4 Salvation with Christian Bale, which I quite enjoyed. Then came Terminator Genesis, which again, I don't think was a very good movie. And then finally, James Cameron came back and did Terminator Dark Fate. I think he only produced the film and helped write it. Again, the film was okay, but I wouldn't say it was a strong point for the series. I also know that James Cameron doesn't consider any of the movies except the first two and the last one, Dark Fate, as canon. So it would be really interesting to see how James Cameron's trilogy started, actually. Personally, Dark Fate itself, again, wasn't the best film in the world, but it was okay. On the other hand, Terminator 2 is easily one of my favorite action movies of all time, one I've watched more than 20 times over the past 20 years. And it's right up there with Die Hard and Speed. All I know from this particular Terminator movie, the first one, is it starts Arnie as the T-800, and he's sent to kill Linda Hamilton's character, who's playing Sarah Connor. So yeah, I'm pretty pumped. To help support the channel, I've started a Patreon page where I'll be posting full reactions to all the videos, including this one, or shows I watch a couple of days before YouTube, so you guys get to watch it early. I'll also be holding polls there for you guys to decide what we will react to next together. And please consider being a Patreon, but don't feel obligated to. A subscription to the channel or even a like to the video goes a long way for the YouTube algorithms. Even one like can reach thousands of people, so I really appreciate that. Um, with all that being said, let's get started. The Terminator, Arnie, Hamilton, Cameron, let's go. Los Angeles 2029 AD, which is literally 9 years from now. We see soldiers running away trying to hide from the machines, but I'm guessing it's pretty futile. The machines rose from the ashes of the nuclear fire. Their war was to exterminate mankind, had raged for decades, but the final battle would not be fought in the future, it would be fought here in our present, tonight. Ooh, okay. Directed by James Cameron. The Terminator. So we're in 1984 now. The Terminator is coming, just like T2. I like how they don't show it directly like T2. Man, look at that dude. He's ripped. This was peak Arnie. Oh, Arnie's naked. And this is just like the scene in Terminator 2 where he approaches a biker bar or something. That dude's dead. I would say Arnie's performance is a little robotic, but I'm guessing that's what he's going for. Is that another Terminator? It's more likely he's human. He seems confused, he's showing emotions. I'm pretty sure this guy's from 2029 and he's human. I love the camera work and how shaky it is. I guess it has to be a part of the budget itself. Got a shotgun. Arnie's the antagonist. This human being must be the protagonist. And here we are, Linda Hamilton as Sarah Connor.
Shall it be? Wrong.
He's gonna buy all of the weapons.
Wrong.
Did he just blow the guy up? For nothing? He needs to use a payphone, so he just pushes the dude away. And found the name.
Sarah Connor.
Yes.
I'm wondering how much of the future they'll show. because this is definitely not 1984. It looks like they're working on taking down the tank. Oh, that was a flashback. Okay, they're back in 1984. So they're giving a little backstory of how I assume Kyle Reese ended up in 1984 from 2029. But she knows who this is, I'm guessing.
Ginger, it's Matt.
Oh, it's the roommate's boyfriend.
I'm gonna go to a movie, kiddo. Okay. You and Matt have a good time.
So at least she's
We
going
will.
out. So it's the boyfriend, she's here. They're gonna have some quality time together. The police are trying to warn this Sarah Connor, but she's out and the roommate's getting it on with the boyfriend.
On the apparent similarity between these shooting deaths.
Now she's genuinely scared. So all payphones used to have a yellow pages stuck to them back then. And she's third on the list. So she knows she's next. Oh no, oh no, she's dead. So the Terminator now has an address and a phone number. That's extremely lucky. She's just in shock. Okay, he's down again, but not for long.
Come with me if you want to live.
Come with me if you want to live. Holy crap. That's a line from Terminator 2. The Terminator says to Sarah in the psych hospital.
You've been targeted for termination. The Terminator's an infiltration unit. Part man, part machine.
Then you're from the future too, is that right?
Right. Cyborgs don't feel pain. I do.
Why does it want me?
There was one man who taught us to fight, to storm the wire of the camps, to smash those metal motherfuckers into junk. His name is Connor. Your son, Sarah.
And the car starts. And another chase sequence starts. Let's go. Ooh, that's straight into a wall. Yep, one of its eyes is damaged. Okay, so it's got back its mobility.
How are you supposed to get back?
I can't. It's just him and me.
And this is how he gets his iconic glasses, I'm guessing.
Good.
For some reason, I have a very strong disliking to this doctor's face. He didn't do anything wrong yet. He's rational. He's in trouble. Oh no, he escapes. And he has no idea what's about to happen.
I'm
This
a
is
friend
insane.
of Sarah Connor. I'll be back.
Hey! That's the first time he actually says it? I'll be back? Because he realizes he can't take on a whole division? Oh! My god. He literally drives his car through. Oh man. She's completely convinced now, so they're gonna get the heck out of there, and the synth music started, so that's the cue for a chase scene or a running away sequence.
Tell me about my son.
Your son gave me a message to give to you. Made me memorize it. Thank you, Sarah, for your courage through the dark years. I can't help you with what you must soon face except to say that the future is not set. You must be stronger than you imagine you can be. You must survive or I will never exist.
Oh, Terminator snuck in. Oh, the picture is burning. What a lovely transition. Uh-oh.
I love you too, sweetheart.
Give me your address there.
So they have 6 explosives. Looks like she's getting more and more comfortable with him being around her.
I came across time for you, Sarah. I love you.
Whoa. The words clearly affected her. They both have a connection to each other now. I guess the cinematography isn't the strong suit of the film itself. He'll be just fine. Or not. Oh my goodness. I cannot wait for this explosion. Oh. It's still moving. This gives me a false sense of dread. Oh my god, he's rising. Completely metallized. No flesh left. That's sick. And the practical effects are insane, and I'm super impressed. But it looks very realistic though, because you know that's a solid metal object. It is coming for them. Oh, that's the sixth one. That's the sixth explosive, the last one. Oh, straight into its gut. Okay. I'm pretty convinced now he just exploded in half. Ah, and Sarah injured herself. Oh, it's a big piece of metal. Oh, that's the torso. That's the top half. Oh no. Is Kyle dead? Oh no. It's still up. Yep, the torso's still alive. One of his hands. That's still functional. Almost. Sarah's all alone this time. There's no Kyle to help her. It's almost got her neck.
You're a terminated fucker.
Oh, what a badass line. He's getting crushed and all this energy's coming out. And the iconic light turns off from the eyes. So now, for sure, we know that the Terminator is dead and she's finally safe. Oh, wow. Kyle Reese actually died.
What's most difficult for me is trying to decide what to tell you and what not to. But I guess I have a while yet before you're old enough to even understand these tapes.
And she's clearly pregnant. These tapes come in play in Terminator Salvation and I think other ones too.
We loved a lifetime's worth.
Aww. And that's the picture.
What did he just say?
He says, "You're very beautiful, senora."
That's the picture.
Viene una tormenta.
Conflicted. Because that was the
What
moment.
did he just say?
He said, "There's a storm coming in."
There's a storm coming, which she knows is.
I know.
There you go. The music just kicked in and it's wonderful. It all makes perfect sense now. Like, honestly happy that I chose to watch this film because I really enjoyed it. So yeah, that was The Terminator by James Cameron. I really enjoyed this film more than I thought it would. It's actually, I would consider this the second best Terminator film after T2. It tied up a lot of loose ends, or no, it tied up a lot of things that come back full circle, like I'll be back and come with me if you still want to live. Um, those were amazing. I didn't know they actually. I thought Terminator 2 was where it was first set, but apparently not. It was actually the Terminator, and I got those references, and I felt included in that universe, and that made me personally feel special. I don't know why I held out so long by not watching this film. I don't regret it now since I'm watching it as an adult, and I can actually analyze it and think about it. Whereas if I watched it as a child, I would have probably wouldn't have liked it as much as T2 because it's definitely a little lower budget. It's definitely a smaller story at a smaller scale, even though the ideas conveyed are huge. They barely introduced Skynet in this film, which I liked. I think they kind of fleshed out the whole Skynet thing in the second one. And the first one, they just give you a general idea of what's happening in the future. I had clues that that might be Kyle Reese who came back in time because there was no other way John Connor would have been born. But I wasn't 100% convinced till they actually said the name Kyle Reese. Um, I love the transformation of Sarah Connor's character as a waitress to all the way to being almost a resistance leader, recording notes for John for the future of humanity. A weak point of the movie, I might say, is the romantic aspect between John and Sarah, because they had a few hours together, and to fall in love in a few hours is a bit of a stretch, but I guess the trauma of the events did bring them together. I also liked how Sarah did end up telling, or was end up planning to tell John about his father, and that's why John had to choose Kyle Reese to come back, and that's why I believe John gave a picture of Sarah to Kyle so that he might have a attraction towards her or something. It clearly worked, whatever John did. Um, I like how John was referenced plenty of times, but not shown in the film. I love when the director does this because talking about a character is actually sometimes more powerful than the character saying the words themselves. This is also true of Vito Corleone in The Godfather. People talk about him a lot, but we don't see him talk much. So that puts him in a position of power, and I think that can be said about John Connor in this film. Um, I love the action sequences, of course. There were three chase scenes. Um, that was a that was pretty typical of the 80s. The music was great. The synth type upbeat music, and even they used the main theme very, very little, only at the beginning, at the love scenes, and at the end, which I really enjoyed because if they kept using the same thing over and over again, it would have lost its value. I liked how I learned that it wasn't a T800, it was actually a T101, which is less developed than a T800, obviously. It has a singular purpose, it doesn't think long term. Arnold Schwarzenegger's performance was very, very, very well done. I think he was very robotic, and I wouldn't call it perfect because sometimes a little emotion did come through, but for the most part, he was really, really, really good in the role. Linda Hamilton was excellent as Sarah Connor. So was Kyle Reese. I forgot the actor's name. I don't think I've seen him in any other films. Michael Bain, I think. Either way, he was very good and convincing as Kyle Reese. One important thing is the doctor who we see who thinks Kyle Reese is a completely lunatic will eventually have Sarah Connor as his patient in T2. So that's really nice to see how that got started. I had no idea how that happened. James Cameron did an excellent job in directing the film, especially with the amount of money he had, because the budget didn't seem as big as Terminator 2 or the other films. But considering the limited budget, this was an excellent movie. You've obviously watched the movie before, otherwise you probably wouldn't have watched a reaction to this. But if you haven't by any chance, go watch it. Don't be like me. When I was younger, I thought, it's an older movie and the budget looked less, and I was a little less interested since all the not the trailer, the scenes from the TV or when it's running on TV didn't look as interesting to me growing up, but I can appreciate it more, way more uh, than I would have when I was younger. Um, Overall, it's an excellent movie. I'd recommend anybody to watch it. And that's about it. Before I go, to help support the channel, I did start a Patreon page, and where I'll be posting full reactions to all of the movies or TV shows I do way before YouTube. Uh, Consider being a patron, but don't feel obligated to. Uh, a like or a subscription to the channel helps out a lot. This was an excellent experience for me, and I cannot wait for the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.